Gunshine State. Ha. What them boys still boating in that way. Big plate, get it for the 18 if you straight. Get cake and stop hating is the motto of the state. Ha. A lot of face, but it's still real around here. That foreign talk, that can get you killed down here. Niggas better learn the lingo, cause they'll be looking for you in that water finding Nemo. See, Palm Beach County be the craziest. Them Broward County niggas be the craziest. And them Dade County niggas be the wildest. Shout out to Belle Glaze and my niggas at Fort Myers. Salute to all my Florida boys out here on the grind. When niggas out here getting dough with that snow and the sunshine. Ducking nine, waiting at the port to bring in that order. Cause niggas like depend on what come across that water. Welcome to South. I was born in the South, raised in the South. A Dade County nigga that was made in the South.
All right, we in this thing, man. Caneville Crib Talk. New Caneville channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, bro, subscribe to the channel now. It's a new Caneville channel. Got his own home now, his own house, doing its own thing. Man, we finna get into some predictions. We got 24 hours and a wake up is what they used to call it when I was in prison. I wasn't really in prison, you know what I'm saying? I worked in the prison, but you get stuck in there 16 hours with them. Sometimes you feel like you in there too. 24 hours in the wake up, 3:30. We got the Canes versus Texas A&M. About to get it on. And we're gonna get in here into some predictions, some things we want to see, man, and we're gonna get up out of here giving you this top content. I got in here with me Rich, X, Medi. What's going on, y'all? Y'all good?
Yo, chilling.
Yes, sir. We in here. Let's get it.
Yeah.
We live, ready to kick some ass Saturday. Let's go.
This man here, man. I haven't drinking ahead tonight, X.
I ain't drink nothing tonight, man.
I think he's lying. I think he's over and under, man. Over and under comment section, man. How many drinks X I had tonight, man? I think he's lying, dog.
Nah, I let the boys have fun. I let the boys and women have fun tonight. And I was just vibing.
Look at my dog being a responsible adult, man. Shout out to X, man.
Yeah, responsible adult. I wake up and drop my kids to school in the morning, man.
So listen, bro. We're gonna start the thing off with game predictions. Give me a score. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a score. X, what you think the score gonna be?
I think I said yesterday on the space 38-13. You won.
38-13. Rich, what you got, man? What you think the score gonna be?
I'm saying 28-14. Canes, of course.
Canes. Anybody on here think Texas A&M gonna win the game? Man, you think Texas A&M gonna win?
No.
You're not gonna predict? Okay.
No, I mean I can predict, but I can get into some of my reasons, but I'll hold it till we get later on to the segment. But out the gate, far my prediction goes, I'm gonna go 28-13.
28-13. That's crazy. Cause I went 28. I went 28-24. 28-24. I think the Canes in the close one. Now the Canes haven't won a big game, bro, since 2017. We all picking the Canes to win, which this is a big game for the Canes. You ask me, because they go 2-0. Who we got after the Texas A&M?
Bethune Cookman.
Who we got after that?
For the blind.
Temple.
Temple in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
so they go 2-0. Then that means they can go 4-0. Who we got after that?
Georgia Tech.
5-0.
They go 2-0. That means they can go 5-0. So I think this is a big game for the Canes. But in order for the Canes to win a big game, Medi, talk to me. What does the offense have to do, bro?
They have to live and die by Tyler Van Dyke. They go as he goes. If he's not hitting the mark, if he's not literally throwing dots, finding his receivers, throwing his receivers open, confusing the defense so it doesn't look predictable, it's going to be very difficult to beat that team. I'll leave it at that.
Defense. Who want to take the defense? What has to happen from the defense? Because they got Bobby Petrino calling plays now, right? We got a quarterback that threw 5 touchdowns for 200 yards. They're claiming. I talked to Mo. Mo said that the offense is light years better. The team is light years better. Defense, Medi, Rich. Like, what has to happen? Which one of y'all want to take? What has to happen from the defense
I,
in order for Canes to get a win?
I'll take the defense real quick. I mean, it's real simple, and we saw it. I mean, our corners have to run step by step with their best receiver. They got one receiver who apparently is a big threat. You got to run step by step with them. That's the biggest thing. If you can do that, and the RD line could get to the quarterback because he likes to throw outside of the pocket. If we can get to the quarterback and our corners can hold their position on the receivers that they are responsible for, I think we have a great shot because now you force them to establish some type of running game within that offense. And to be honest, I personally think that there's two ways that you could go about winning the game. You can go about winning the game by testing their will, which that's SEC type football. In the trenches you battle, especially during the first two quarters, and you just battle them until they break. You run the ball, you play physical, and then once they start to break, you start taking your shots downfield and start connecting on your explosive plays. I mean, you could do it that way, or you could do it the Colorado way. And from the time you step on that field, you put the ball in TVD's hands and you throw it, and you expect them to match your gangster in that department. I personally think that their offense is not anything to be afraid of, and I think on honestly the onus is going to be on them to really keep up with our offense, to be honest. I just think that we may not have the 5-star guys that they got. They got a couple more 5 stars than we do, but I think that our guys are just better, to be honest. I think that we have the better backfield. I think we have the better group of receivers, and I think we have the better quarterback. So really the onus is going to be on them to stop us.
Oh.
Well, Rich, you said they have a couple only. Man, they got maybe triple, double, quadruple the 5 stars we got. They got way more 5 stars than we got.
No, they got a bunch,
They a
but
whole
you
bunch.
got to remember,
Both started
just
line. They
being
started
5 star.
They started D-line as 5 stars. They got two 5 star
Mhm.
receivers. They got two 5 star DBs. They got a 5 star linebacker. I think they have a 5 star offensive line, a 5 star quarterback. I don't know if they have a five. Yeah, they got a 5 star running back too. Ruben Noah. Ruben Noah. He's over there. So yeah, they got damn near 12, 14 5 stars. Like they
But the,
five
but
star.
the thing is, you got to play like a 5 star. So they have never shown. They're just like us, where they haven't. Those 5 stars have not shown that they can go out there and play like 5 stars and actually win a big game. So we're both in the same position. I mean, shout out to Clemson, right? How many 5 stars does Clemson have? They got a bunch of them, but they did not show up against Duke,
Oh, that's
and
your
that's
squad,
that's
huh,
what I'm
Rich?
talking
I didn't even
about.
think
Huh?
about that, Rich. That's your squad, huh? I forgot about Clemson.
I
That's your
mean,
Hey,
yeah,
squad.
and
Rich,
I've been delivered. I've been delivered.
Rich the goat.
I'm no longer a Clemson fan.
So listen, bro. So listen. So listen. That's offense, man. Good job with that offense, dog. Great
Shout out
job.
to
Great
Rich,
job.
man.
You see,
Rich
you
woke
got the
up,
sound.
man.
We got the soundboard going on. Great job with that. Now defensively, bro. Like defensively, X. You want to talk about the defense, Medi?
Yeah,
Which one of y'all want to talk about?
I give you the whole breakdown about defense right now. Defensively,
Go ahead, go ahead.
defensively, our D line have to get sacks. We have to get tackles for loss. Watching Texas A&M against New Mexico State, the offensive line wasn't good. The offensive line looks like the weakest position group on their whole entire team. Um, so the defensive line has to create pressure to make the quarterback uncomfortable. He's to be honest, he's an erratic quarterback. Last week, yeah, he looked like the best thing smoking because they played New Mexico State. I think New Mexico State won what 3 games last year.
Man, if I go through the list of the games that they lost last year, it is embarrassing.
I'm saying so.
Mhm.
Have to make tackles in the backfield. Their run game isn't good. They're going to rely heavy on the pass, and our defensive line and our linebackers just have to create that pressure where he can't just sit back there and just throw the ball up and down the field.
Yep.
They got good. They got good receivers. I mean, naturally talented receivers, but none of them, stood out in big games for them last season.
X, I even add this. In the time that Connor Williams has played, he's only thrown for over 300 one time. He's never thrown for over 300 more than once in his career. Tyler Van Dyke, for as much as critical as I am of him, he's done it 8 times, and I think he's thrown for over 400 twice.
Mhm.
And I think both of those times was last season when he was a shell of himself. So
Yeah, I mean, you just look, and I think that the key around college football, everybody's saying, let's watch you on defense. You know what I'm saying? They saying, yeah, we don't care much about you on offense. So when I came out and said I think our defense is going to be one of the best defenses in college football, this is where you have to show that you're one of the best defenses in college football. Um, just don't allow them to running up and down the field, create turnovers, create tackles for loss, create sacks. Leonard Taylor, uh, Najee Kelly, Akeem Mesidor. These are the type of games that get you drafted in the first, second round right here. Because you're playing against nothing but talent. It's not about, oh, well, you beat up a team. They pretty good. No, this team is nothing but talent. Nothing but 5 and 4 stars. That's it. You're beating up the best talent that's been recruited in college football for the last 4 years. You have to go out there and prove that you belong. Get tackles for loss, get sacks, create turnovers. Don't just allow your cornerbacks and safeties to just be out there covering for 5-6 seconds. That's a disaster.
Mhm.
Happen. But even Kinko said it today or yesterday. He said, man, Gildry is going to put us in position to make the right plays. He's going to scheme to make us make the right plays. It's like we don't have no choice. And I'm like, okay, well, if a coach don't give you a choice but to make the right plays, then we should be in a good, we should be in good standing to kicking their ass Saturday.
Rich, you good, dog?
This it.
Yeah, I'm good.
This it.
Boy, like you about to take a nap right here on the.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, Rich. Now we don't want
Hey,
no
hey,
snort.
Streeter, let me double back on that Clemson and Duke. Streeter, we said this maybe when the portal really started jumping off, probably 3 years ago. We said teams are going to get a lot older and kick good teams' ass because they're older than them. Duke,
We did.
average is 22 years old. They was older than Clemson, and guess what they did Monday? Kick Clemson ass because they was older.
All right. Now, X, if you're going to hang your hat on that, they're going to be older than a lot of teams. So you trying to tell me they're going undefeated?
I ain't
You
saying
want to hang your hat on that?
I ain't saying they're gonna be undefeated, but I'm saying they was older than Clemson and they kicked Clemson ass. That's it.
No, you can get an older team, but I think BYU've always had old teams. I think they would send
They
people
do.
on. Yeah, they send people on pilgrimages or whatever they send them on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, mission
Then
day
they come
to see.
back. Then they play. Well, we come back
Yeah.
23 years old. So, but no, man, moving on, bro. Like offensive MVP, Medi.
Oh man,
Give me an offensive, defensive MVP. Who you think who has to be the MVP for us to win this game?
Who has to be the MVP? I would say honestly, somebody in. I'm not gonna say a specific name, but somebody in that running back room got to go smack off, or got to be a combination of 4, like all 4 of them just literally just ripping off big chunks.
just say the unit then. Just say the
Yeah.
unit. The running back.
The running back room has to be the MVP Because if you set that up and they can't stop that, that means it's bombs over Baghdad. You can just throw whatever you want over the top. That's my running back room.
What about a defensive MVP? Who has to stand up on the defense? Anybody? X, Rich.
James Williams. He has to. James Williams has to be James
Why?
Williams. Who we think?
Why James?
Okay, so for one, we know Texas A&M, their running game wasn't good last week. They're going to probably rely on throwing the ball. So if our defense create pressure, you need somebody to be in that second level that's going to make the tackles that the first level guys aren't making. Meaning the D line that they're creating the pressure, and then the quarterback just somehow get the ball out in the middle of the field. Um, You're only going to have two linebackers on the game in game, and James Williams will be probably the third guy closer to the line of scrimmage. He has to
Mm-hmm.
make name known this week. Like he has to just cause havoc, create turnovers, make tackles in open space. I mean, I'm expecting James to have close to a double-digit tackles, like 8 or 9, maybe a forced fumble or interception. He has to do that for you want to be successful on defense, especially.
I'll add this. I'm still on the Gidry chain, like I said, until he gives me a reason not to be. Lance Gidry has to be true to what he said when he got here and his philosophy of keeping that third quarter shutout. If that third quarter shutout happens, the statistics prove you have a roughly 75 to 80% chance of winning the game. The only game that I saw Jackson Dart throw for over 300 yards was against Ole Miss. Ole Miss, he threw for 338, 4 touchdowns. Devin A. Chain went crazy, who's not there. He's on the Miami Dolphins now. Um,
Hold on.
Muhammad,
You said Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart ain't played for Texas A&M.
not
Though.
Jackson Dart, Connor Weigman. Jackson Dart was on
Jackson
Ole
Dart played
Miss.
for
Jackson Dart was for Ole Miss. He didn't do anything. He had 13 for 20, 140 yards, 3 touchdowns. But their running back ran for 205, right? But if you look at that game, Texas A&M was up in the first quarter, 14-7. They held Mississippi to 3 points in the second quarter. And then what happened? Third quarter, Ole Miss scored 14 to their 0. And that's what broke the game open. And then they couldn't score in the what's called, they lost by 3 points, 31 to 28. Connor Whiteman was a madman. He threw for 330, 338, 4 touchdowns, Devin A. Chain. But that shows me a team that got comfortable and took their foot off the gas. And then Ole Miss came back and ran it up. And sure enough, they shut them out in the third quarter. That's what your game plan is. So if your defense can hold, even if they get a slight lead, if Gidry makes those halftime adjustments, comes out and shuts them out in the third quarter, and we're scoring, that the game's ours for the taking. So that's what I want to see. He did it. Well, he did the whole game really, but he did it against Miami. Excuse me. He did it against them Ohio people. You know, I want to see that same thing again. So
offensively, you got to be TVD. Offensively, got to be TVD. If TVD doesn't have a game, we just not gonna be successful.
So TVD got to be the overall MVP. We need TVD.
He has to
We
be
need
overall.
TVD to be TV.
No, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, I really think that
Rich, we ran for
I
174
still,
yards last year. We ran for 174 yards last year.
I ain't gonna
yes,
lie,
but
but
I would
X,
say
you got to
this:
point out too.
this year
Hold on, Rich.
we got
X,
to
you got to
continue that trend of being balanced.
hold on, Rich, real quick. X, you got to point out too. They dropped a lot of passes.
They did.
They
Right.
dropped a shit ton of passes.
TVD put the ball in wrong areas also. You know what I'm saying? So he
Nah,
has
for
to
sure.
be. He has to look. We scored 9 points, 3 field goals. TVD have to be the MVP. Like
But
it's nowhere around it. You can run the ball for 200 plus yards. I mean, unless you get in the end zone every time you run the ball, that's different.
yeah,
TVD have to put the ball in the end zone for us to win this game.
but go ahead, Rich. You about to say
Yeah,
something?
Yeah,
yeah, go
well,
ahead.
that was exactly my point. That what you mentioned, Mehdi. We had a lot of drop balls in that game. That was the game where we were like, "Do we have a receivers coach? I mean, what are we doing here?"
Yeah,
That I
Remember with
mean,
X too. I think it was a crucial third down. Henry Parrish just came out the backfield on a screen or a swing pass and just dropped it. Like nobody's around him for 10 yards. It's like, come on, dog.
Right. I really
And
do think, and
yeah,
when you do stuff like that, that forces you on offense to be one dimensional. And that's going to cause problems when it comes to running the ball as well as passing the ball. Hey, think about this. If we had 174 yards last year, had we caught some of those 3rd and 10s and stuff like that,
We don't
could
lose
you
by 8 points.
imagine what our running game would have been?
Yeah, we only lost by eight
yeah,
points.
yeah.
Right.
That was the game.
But
Also, the wide receivers were frustrated too. Remember, I was telling you like you can see it at the game. Um, Keyshawn, you know what I'm saying, was frustrated because they felt they were open and weren't getting the
Hmm.
ball.
TVD
Um,
wasn't getting the ball.
And
but
And there
TVD
was
KB, we
spread that
issues with
trust.
ball.
separation.
TVD threw that ball to
And
everybody in that first
KB, we
game.
trust. Kevin Beard from these boys right, man.
So okay, so what I'm saying is basically this. Again, last year, if we get in the end zone, just twice, we win that game. We didn't get in the end zone. We ran the ball for 174 yards. Granted, you say we dropped. I don't know how many passes we dropped, but at the same time, watching TVD in that game, did he look like he was the alpha quarterback of the group? Or I mean, the alpha quarterback in the game?
No.
No.
Okay, TVD, you got to be the alpha quarterback this week. You got to be the alpha quarterback for UM to win. You can't go out there and say, well, they dropping passes. Let me just try to throw it to my best friend, and let us try to run the ball. Guess what? Texas A&M going to come out saying we ain't going to let y'all beat us by running this ball. TVD, you got to show us something.
And we got to do the same thing for them because looking at the stats, Connor Weigman got the highest QBR in America right now through week one.
Mm.
Dog, they beat us 17-9 last year, dog.
17-9, Streeter.
Oh my
And
God.
we missed,
I
we
don't,
missed
I don't remember that score being
well,
17-9.
Dallas missed 2 field goals. He missed 2 field goals that he should have made.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The
we
muff punt,
missed
they
two
get the muff.
touchdowns that we should have scored.
The,
Stevenson muffed the punt.
yeah, that put him inside their 20.
It was a lot
Oh,
that we did that we lost the game. But just thinking you say we lost 17-9, really.
TVD was 21 of 41, 217 yards.
Oh
217, no
God.
touchdown.
Jalen Knighton had 77 yards and Henry Parrish had 85.
We ran the ball for 174 yards. What it was 36 carries for 174, right?
That is unbelievable. Yeah. Y'all want to hear their stats?
Look,
Their
look, look.
quarterback
Okay,
had 140 yards and one
140
touch.
yards.
Their quarterback rating was 34.
Remember, the only explosive play they had the entire game offensively was when they threw the ball to that running back,
The A
and
chain.
he just made us look like he was
He made a
the
bunch of
best
dudes
thing.
miss, and he got busy. Yep.
A
But look,
Chain, A Chain was 18 for 88, and Anais Smith led them in receiving. Anais Smith was a running back, right?
yeah,
He led them in receiving. He was 4 for 74, and then Devon A Chain was second in receiving. Bro, like we could have done anything, ran a punt back, anything, and won this game.
Hmm.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't
And
remember it being 17-9, though. I don't remember it being that low
The
score in the
crowd and
game.
everything deflated
I,
those
I remember,
guys.
I remember it was that score because I'm watching it on the TV and I'm like, "Fuck, Gaddis, you really can't get the ball in this end zone? Like, god damn, they basically saying, look, y'all got to beat us because we don't really want to win the game, but we're not gonna let y'all win the game."
I don't, dog. For some reason, dog. For some reason, I don't believe that was Gaddis clamming up at the goal line. I think that was TVD, bro. I don't think it was Gaddis, dog.
It was play calling. It was some bad play
Street, I would
calling.
be with you if that same exact shit did not happen to Ja'Carry Brown and Jake Garcia at Virginia.
Yeah, it was some
Well,
bad play calling. It was some
but
bad play
no,
calling.
dog. Listen, hold up now. Gaddis drew up the goal line play at Virginia to win the game, right?
But look how many
Right?
overtimes you had to play
He
Street. That
grew.
was
He drew
terrible.
up. He drew up the overtime
Hmm.
play, right? Like we saw Gaddis in red zone drop some plays a few times. For some reason in that game, there was a trust factor, bro, that I
The
felt
timing was
between
off.
Gaddis, between TVD, and between
Frank Ponce.
I always yeah I always feel like that TVD doesn't want to make a mistake. Like He would rather do nothing, which sometimes is good. But when you're on the goal line and it's a 9-17 battle, remember TBD tucked the ball and just did a quarterback keeper?
Yep. Against
Hmm.
Virginia
And
2 years ago.
and I don't know. No, it was Texas A&M too. Remember?
He did a quarterback draw. It was like
Yeah.
the
And
fuck did
and I don't know if that was Gaddis dog. I don't know, dog. To me,
every Gaddis, it was Gaddis. Everything that went bad was Gaddis. I don't. We not doing it tonight.
man, we saw Gaddis draw up. We saw Gaddis draw up at Clemson a goal line play for Garcia. Remember?
Did it work?
Hmm.
No.
Yeah. Yes, Garcia threw the touchdown at
Yeah,
Clemson.
it did. You're right. It did. But that wasn't the same play he drew up in Texas A&M.
That was
It
so
was
ba-
it
that
was
was honestly what was so baffling about watching him, because you'll see a game where TVD comes out against UNC and it's like he can't be stopped. Minus getting the ball batted down on fourth down and throwing a pick.
Right.
And yeah, I mean it does make you wonder like who was, and that's why I'm glad that experiment is over. Because at least now we know it's a quarterback. Because that there's too many red flags and question marks that I got about who did what. Was Tyler just taking
right,
things in his own hands? Did he just take
right.
something in his own hands and then it didn't work? And he's like, "Oh, my shoulder!" Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been down on him ever since I watched him throw two back-to-back interceptions against Middle Tennessee State. I was like, "Dog, who is this?"
Listen, man. I, this is one thing I think we got going for us. TVD spread the ball around the first game, so I think, I think Dawson has the right offense to get because TVD is almost like a rhythm quarterback. He can get going, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then he looks unstoppable sometimes. And I think Dawson may have the right offense to get that out of TVD. And if that's the case with the way our defense playing, bro, if we could get North Carolina out of TVD in 6-7 games, right? Like Miami might have something this year. You know what I'm saying?
I said that, and
They,
like I said, adding like think about what you made in your prediction last prediction show. You said TVD just got to throw for 220 a game, and we got to rush for 200 on the ground. And I said out of my mouth, that is a 10-win team.
yeah, you
With the
did.
defense playing like that's a 10-win team. That's a double-digit win team. And
Hmm.
those statistics are low. Throwing for 220 a game is not going to get TVD name called next April. I'm gonna just be honest with you. That is not good. He gonna have to be TVD throwing for 300 plus, 3 touchdowns a game, and a 2021 to be able to legitimately say he's gonna be get his name called next spring.
Hmm.
Yeah, he just got to look commanding in the offense. Even last week, I'm not gonna say he looked commanding. Obviously, he did have his moments, but then he had some moments where he was like, okay, yeah, TVD's he's still just kind of doing what you did the previous year.
Like you
But
said, Street, he should be an advantage. Like I said, this man has thrown for over 300 on
Yeah,
multiple occasions, more than 5 times.
this
he
Saturday he should
should.
have one of those. What's the Christian walk to Damascus? Damascus, when they be like, oh, having one of those special out of this world moments. He need to have that this Saturday.
An out of body experience.
Yeah, he got to
Spiritual
have.
awakening.
He got to have it. He got to have it. He got to have one of those. Um, he got to have one. Remember when Ja'Cory Harris went into Ohio State that year and beat him, and everybody was like, "Oh
Hmm.
boy, Ja'Cory's gonna win the Heisman." He got to have one of those moments.
Yeah.
Like,
But I've been kind of felt like, and Ja'Cory was hurt for most of that. I've been felt like when I watched Ja'Cory beat Florida State on Labor Day, I was like, this dude might be the one, dog. I was so high. I used to be so high on Ja'Cory Harris, man. That was my dog,
Ja'Cory had the
man.
Yeah.
pedigree, dog. Ja'Cory had the pedigree, dog. I think Miami failed Ja'Cory. Like,
Miami failed them. Miami failed them.
yeah, Ja'Cory had it,
They felt
dog.
a lot
Like,
of the
he was
Northwestern
better
kids.
coming out of high school. He was better than he was that second and that third year. That last year with Fish, when we saw what he could have been. You know what I'm saying? But now back to what we were talking about. But I'm just looking at these numbers from last year. That is amazing. So listen, if Jimbo implications of coaches like if Jimbo lose the game, right? Is there any implications? Anything that happened to Jimbo? Like Can you
Yeah,
say anything about Jimbo? Because Jimbo been there a while now.
yeah, I want to hear Rich's take.
He gets fired.
Rich, I want to hear your take. If Jimbo loses this
What
game, what happens?
if he loses this game in particular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anything happens if he loses this game. I think if he loses this game and subsequently goes 7-7, I think he gets fired. And I think that this is one of those games that could kind of be a catalyst to him getting fired. But I think it would have to be a combination of games like this. Um, and to be honest with you, I think that he's running on fumes. He's got Petrino in there. Petrino doesn't have the personnel at quarterback to run what he likes to run. I personally think that, I mean, we should put that nail in the coffin. It won't be the final nail, but it'll be that first blow. It'll be one of those backbreakers for sure.
I think it's the final nail. Petrino is there. He's there to step in once they fire Jimbo during the season. You got to. If Jimbo don't win this game, cause if Jimbo don't win this game, they falling so far behind in the SEC.
Wait,
You
hold on
think
real quick.
so?
Hold on real quick. X, so you think with as shady and checkered of a past as Bobby Trino had, they are that desperate that they will.
I'm not saying
Allow
he's going
him
to
to take
be coach
the reins.
I'm saying they will allow him to finish the season. I ain't saying he's gonna be the next head coach at Texas A&M. They'll just say, "Yeah, we gotta go ahead and start the process now," instead of holding on because you lose this game, you pretty much gonna be losing a lot of games. You're gonna probably go 5-7 again. Uh, Texas and Oklahoma coming into the SEC. Ole Miss is pretty good. Georgia is kicking everybody ass. Arkansas does what it do. You got LSU, you got Alabama. Who else is on the SEC West? I mean, you got all that. There's Tennessee. You got all that saying, okay, well, Texas A&M, you're getting all this talent, but you ain't winning the games. You go 5-7. Guess what? The talent
Right.
is saying, shit. Even if the talent comes, y'all not gonna win the game. You know, you're falling behind. They are fed up, right? I'm talking about this is from Texas A&M people. They're fed up. They want to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich,
They
anything about Mario? Anything on Mario, Rich? Like,
Hold on. Before we get there, hold on. I want to give my take on this. I agree with X. I think the part that nobody's taking in consideration is conference realignment and conference strength and the perception. Right now, ACC is 2-1 against through 1 week against the SEC. All we hear is conference realignment and what conference is stronger, and all these things matter. I don't think they're supposed to be considered that important. I don't think it really should matter in the implications of things, but I think with the college football playoff expanding to 12 teams, as well as the just like I said, the talk and all these teams moving and we feel like it's sooner rather than later that the Big Ten or the SEC is gonna pull one of these two teams or one of these three teams out the ACC. That's why they made the move to go get Cal, Stanford, and SMU. You got to put up or shut up. That's just gonna determine
Right.
whether or not you gonna be the team that they call up to what they call the quote unquote big leagues. So yeah, like Jimbo losing this game is huge. It's huge because I ain't gonna say they're gonna kick them out the league, but I mean, money
they not.
talks, BS walks.
Just think about all the recruits that Texas A&M getting. A lot of those recruits just say, "Well, shit, we just gonna go to Texas, or shit, we'll go to Auburn." You know what I'm saying? Or Ole Miss. You know, the schools that are kind of good and just not getting the exact same recruits. Georgia and Bama going Georgia and Bama. They gonna recruit. You know what I'm saying? LSU gonna recruit. So now you just gotta look at the rest of the team saying, who not getting that top level, top 5 talent, but they're winning games. You know what I'm saying? You got to throw Tennessee in that equation because now guess what? Tennessee is winning. So
Mm-hmm.
if you just don't win at Texas A&M, I mean, Jimbo, they gave you everything you wanted and asked for, and you just ain't winning. It's like even to go to the next. When we talk about Mario, like Mario, this your second year. You be there 4 years and you do what Jimbo do. Now the red light is on you. Shit, Mario, you got to go too. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't winning. They gave you everything you need.
What's your
And
take?
But
What's your take? What's your take,
what
Rich?
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Go
saying
ahead and finish.
what's your take
Finish that.
on Mario if Mario doesn't win this game? Rich.
Well, the one thing we gotta remember though, just to chime in on what X was talking about, it does pertain to Mario, but this is the University of Miami. It's very similar to Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame, those type of programs.
Right.
You got to win now or go home at the University of Miami. So just like when we saw what happened with Dion and what he did after losing 80 something players, and then us shitting the bed, for lack of a better term, last year. I mean, some of that stuff is unacceptable if you're a marquee coach and you're a very highly paid coach and you're getting all the trinkets that you want. So yeah, I think Jimbo's in a different situation though. Texas A&M is very much like Clemson. I mean, where it's a good old town and they're gonna show up whether they're winning or losing, and if they like old ball coach, he's staying. I mean, it's really that simple. Because for them, they didn't win 5 national championships in the span of 30 years. I think the last time they won the championship was like 1939, if I remember correctly, on the space on Wednesday.
That's crazy. It is. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
when they last won a national championship, segregation was
and it's not and it's not even
socially
it's not even
acceptable.
um uh a notarized national championship. It's
Right.
they claimed it like UCF. They claimed the national championship. Like y'all ain't.
And I'm gonna give you an even better. I guarantee you, because I know we've been throwing the stat around, but TCU had 11 10-win seasons the past 15 years. I guarantee you, Texas A&M has not had 11 10-win seasons the past 15 years. I guarantee you that.
No, I think
So
Streeter said last night on the
They
space
had
was they
they had
last
two in the
20 years.
last 20 years.
The last one was 2012. I mean, as far as record wise, Texas A&M and Miami is they kind of like twin brothers. If you talk about last 20 years, so
yeah,
we both are
Yeah.
we both been doing less with more talent than most. You know what I'm saying? You don't been
right.
recruiting probably the second best in the ACC, and we've done nothing. Texas A&M for the last 5 years been recruiting third or second in the ACC. I mean SEC and done nothing.
Yo, I
You
did
know,
not.
but
And this kind of adds to my point. They had I think the Johnny Manziel coach was Kevin Sumlin. They had
Kevin,
Sumlin there who won 8 games, and they sat there and gave him the boot after he had Johnny Manziel. So
Right.
for them, is it really about winning or is it more so about optics?
nah, it's about win. Right now, it's about winning because again, they didn't give Kevin Summerlin everything he needed.
No,
He just went out there and did his best with what he was able to get.
right.
Jimbo is giving everything he needed. They gave Jimbo unlimited amount of money to do whatever he needs to do. And we talk
Hmm.
about within a 4 year span. And guess what? And within a 4 year span, Jimbo has done absolutely nothing.
Right.
His biggest his biggest thing there was he beat Alabama that 1 year, but they didn't win
Yeah.
number 8 games. Like
And
okay,
they lost close last year, but I mean that still ain't cutting it.
I don't care.
That's
Five
not
and seven,
cutting it.
5 and 7 is 5 and 7. It don't matter if you lost close or you got your ass beat. 5 and 7 is 5 and 7.
Yeah.
Right.
I was surprised to see that they were 5-7, like us. And that Ole Miss was actually 8 and something. And that Duke won 9 games. Um, but listen, bro. One day in the wake up until Texas A&M. I honestly don't think if Mario loses, it does anything to Mario. I think Mario um, has a pass here that we haven't seen the coach have in a long time.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get 4, 5, 6 years to get this thing right.
45.
Um,
Give him. They give him 45.
yeah, I think he's gonna. Yeah, I think he's gonna be here a while, bro. I think he's gonna be the coach that even if it does go wrong, like kind of what Florida State did with their little goofy guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so I think we got the same situation here. So let's get used to it. Um, but man, listen, I'm excited about the game, man. I talked to Cam Kitchens today. He excited about the game. He just came. I said, "Boy, you good? You good? You got going on?" Boy, I can't wait. I can't wait to Saturday.
They were excited last year too. You see how that went.
I can't wait to Saturday. Um, but listen, man, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow. We're almost at 1,000. We're at about 900 subscribers. So make sure you
Oh yeah,
subscribe and hit the alert
900.
bell. Hey, we up there, boy. 890, something like that.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
snap! Who gonna be the person?
Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the alert bell. This is a new channel. Look down, the logo different.
Yep.
And we're gonna be on. We're gonna be here every Friday. Where we at? Every Friday, every Monday, every
Thursday.
Sunday, every Friday, Thursday, Sunday morning,
Sunday.
Saturday morning, Sunday morning.
Tuesday on
We
the
here,
space.
man. 3 times a week. 3 times a week. We're gonna put the schedule up for you. We'll post the schedule up for y'all, man, so y'all know when we're gonna show up, man. And shout out to the villains, bro. Anything y'all want to say before we get out of here, dog?
Um, how many you say we at? We at what, 9 what?
No, we at it's
Eight,
showing 839.
eight.
839.
Oh, okay.
39.
I thought it was 893.
Yeah, I thought it was at 9 because I was going to say the next, if we was at 990, I could say, well, the next 10, y'all will get a free Caneville shirt, but y'all got to subscribe. Y'all got to get to 990 for me to start giving out some free stuff. Y'all got to get to 990, so subscribe.
All right, you heard it. He put it out there. So, Rich,
So
what you
we
got?
like 170 away from 1,000. Y'all, anybody? Y'all got some parting shots before we get up out of there, man?
Man, shouts out to everybody's following Caneville on Twitter, on Instagram. Every Wednesday, the Caneville space is at 7:30. Stop asking me what time the space is. It's the same time every Wednesday. It ain't changing.
Hey, what happened last night?
What you mean?
They said it was like I was listening. It was something it like
Okay, so
glitched.
at the end, what happened was at the end, my phone ended up going dead and it just shut off. But
Oh,
it was
look at this
close.
man. Look at
It
this
was like,
man. What? This man a trip, man. We that
no,
phone.
it was a 2 hour show. Like, I mean, I definitely wasn't expecting to be on the show that long. I was like,
You
man,
gotta plug it up. It is nothing but audio. Nobody can see you.
man. But like I said, I wasn't expecting to be on the show that long. But
Man,
my
this
bad.
man. You
Gotta
gotta
try
plug
to.
it up, dog. Audio. Nobody can see you,
Technical
dog. You
difficulties.
tripping.
So there y'all go, man.
It's all
Rich, what you
good.
got, man?
We hit 1,000. We hit 1,000 listeners off last night's space.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
huge.
pretty.
That's huge. What you got, Rich? I know you need to go get to sleep.
Not much. Not much. Go Canes. I mean, A&M is around the corner. Line that ish up.
All right, man. Let's get up out of here, man. Next time, y'all make sure y'all go watch the other videos if you ain't caught them, man. We out here, man. Caneville, Crib Talk. We out of man.